go ahead and call this meeting in order with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chad, can you please do the roll call?
Supervisor Cook. Chairman Schraller.
Here.
Supervisor Bloomer.
Here.
Supervisor Wolford.
Here.
And Supervisor Thorne.
Here.
First item on the agenda will be citizens' concerns. Anyone here wishes to address the town board? Can I get a motion to go into public comment, please?
So, second.
I have a motion by Kelsey, second by Mitch. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say no. Motion carries. Who wants to start? Go ahead.
Well, as always, I'm going to ask for an update on Lake Del Rey. So I'm Debbie Seiler, 2618 Del Rey. So, and of course, with this last thaw and rain, we had flooding. We had to call and get pumped, and so I just want to hear that we're moving forward.
Ralph, did you hear that?
No, but I think it was Debbie about Lake Del Rey, maybe.
Yes.
Yes, we pumped that out last week. We're still working on getting a plan together for a permanent solution. So it's still at the very top of the list.
As long as it stays at the top.
As long as it stays at the top, she said.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing the audience, but yes, it will.
All right.
Anybody else?
I do.
Yeah.
Kelsey Craig, 2500 First Avenue. Ralph, it's Kelsey. I was just curious what time the guys got out for plowing the last snowstorm and then what time they got out today.
Today, I think they got out fairly early this morning.
What's fairly early?
Of course, everybody knows we have a lot to plow out, and I think we made good progress on that today.
Yep, so what time was fairly early?
I don't know the exact time that they got out, to be honest with you. I know the plan is always to start in the morning after the snow finishes, but I was getting text early this morning. Some people needed to get actually picked up to be brought in because we had such a large snowfall. So, it took a while to get stuff moving, but, when we get a big snow like that, it's just something we all got to work together with.
Is it possible maybe it's not my area, obviously, and I'm talking as a citizen and not as a board member right now, but is it possible to maybe get them started a little bit earlier? I mean, people still do have to get out and go to work. I know me, personally, I had to find alternative means to get to work because I still had to get to work on time. So I was just maybe making a suggestion that maybe they get out a little earlier when it's snowing like this and we know what's coming.
Yeah, we can definitely discuss that.
I mean, obviously, I know there's only 4 of them and they're working hard and we only have so many plows. I understand that, but just because there's no school doesn't mean people don't have to work. So.
No, for sure. And I know everybody's trying to get there. Yeah, I'll definitely talk with Steve about that. As you know, I leave that up to him.
Right.
But I will. But we can definitely talk about it.
Well, the last snowfall was back in the beginning of February. He had sent out an email and said it was your guys' decision not to start until 7 o'clock. And then the plows weren't working, so they didn't get started until after 8. So obviously that wasn't Steve's decision, that was your decision as well.
Yeah, sometimes we talk about that, and so, to be honest with you, I don't recall this exact one. He might have thrown me a text. I am involved with their text messages when the guys are communicating about what they're going to be doing and when they're going to go.
Okay.
And if I'm in complete disagreement with it, I certainly will give them a call. For the most part, everything it looks like they're doing is in the right direction.
I'm not saying that they're not doing a good job. I'm saying that is it possible to get them out there a little earlier for people that do need to be to work earlier? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
for people that are coming home on third
shift. I think
shift.
a lot of times it depends on when the snow is going to end and how much we're getting, and really a lot of variables go in here.
Well, right, but people still have to get to work. People still have to come home from work when they work third shift. But okay, my next thing, Mitch, Sorry, I'm full of it today. I'm Bruce and Lee today. I've had a few complaints of people that I know that live on the island saying that their trash didn't get picked up today.
Yep, I
And
got a
that
bunch too.
Harder's is not putting the trash cans back in the spots that they plowed, people specifically plowed. They're leaving them in the streets. And so then they're getting hit by the plow trucks when it's not the citizens' fault, the residents' fault.
Yeah, they're gonna come tomorrow again and pick up the places they missed.
But I guess I'm a little concerned that we want people to put them in a certain spot and then Harder's isn't putting them back in those spots.
Yeah.
And then they're getting hit by plows, which it wasn't the residents' fault.
Yeah, and I'll talk to Matt or Scott about that tomorrow.
I didn't have that personally happen to me, but I did hear it from a few people.
Yeah, and the snow plow in Nokomis, it was the city's turn to plow Nokomis, and they knocked a lot of them over
Yeah.
that were full, you know. So Nokomis didn't get picked up at all today. And so I have to add that to the list tomorrow because they did not include that on their updated list for tomorrow. So I got to make sure
So
they get
do
to
people need to
Nokomis.
call or do they know who's for missed?
They have a whole list of streets that they're coming back to do,
Well,
but they
because I
didn't put
know some
Nokomis
streets
on
they
it.
did some people, but not the others. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm a little concerned. Are they going to be coming back to those streets?
Chad has a whole list of streets, but I do
So I
have
guess I
to
just
add,
have people call.
In short, I think, yeah, that's typically.
yeah.
I know if they miss it anyway, I would encourage, I know in the past when they first started, if they miss, Harder's always said, just call down.
So we should put it on Facebook to have them call Harder's,
Yeah.
just in case it's not on the list.
Yeah, there's about, what, 10
I'm not sure
streets
what's funny
on the
about
list?
that.
Yeah. Yeah, and unfortunately, when the snowplow comes by, even if it doesn't knock the can over, if it tips it, the arms can't grab it because they have to be straight.
Well, I just got an email from, I'm going over my minutes. I just got an email from Steve yesterday, to post on Facebook to have people clean up a certain spot. And so I put that on there, and people did it, and then they're not getting placed back in those spots.
Okay.
So that's just a little, I think, frustrating for residents.
So Bob Wolford, 904 Susan Place. I know that it's been on the big snowfalls, it's been a catch-22 because for people that stay home or where the kids are staying home, you kind of got that, or that are recommended to stay home. Or the people that are trying to get out early would get frustrated because they'd blow their driveway out and they'd go to get ready and the plow would come by. And then they can't get out again. So that there previously was kind of a balance or an attempt at balancing that, where if people can get out, or if they get out of their driveway, get on the road, get going, rather than have to fight through the plow drift. And I mean, it's just kind of a no-win, unfortunately. But I know that was always that area of citizen frustration. Is the
Well, I think
problem.
it's on both sides of Peter's.
It is.
I think it's
That's
half and half, and I
yeah,
don't think
it
it's
is.
one way or the other.
I know, and I'm just saying, I know that you're exactly right. I know where they're at.
But as we told, Lee and Bruce, this isn't the time to be chatting back and forth, right?
No, this is yeah.
We make sure we follow the rules, even if they're not here.
Yeah, I know. Just to address that, I guess to the board, I know, and previously, and to that point, I mean, I know because of my security camera, Harder got stuck in front of my house for probably an hour or over that this morning, or whatever time they came by. I'd have to look at the timestamp, but I got the alert, and I looked out there, and the guy was shoveling it out, and so.
There's no way he got stuck on my street. He was coming down about 30 miles an hour, I swear.
I
I didn't end up in your driveway, Troy.
No, so I'm saying that may have contributed to some of it not getting picked up, or difficulty of putting the cans back, because after they get stuck, they're probably like, yeah. Anyway, so.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah.
You wanted to say something? You wanted to say something about Nokomis?
Oh, our trash was picked up,
Oh,
so.
Yeah, they got the ones that were upright. Any of them that were
Okay.
tilted or tipped over, they don't pick up. That's all.
Got it.
And that's who I got a lot of calls from, were people on Nokomis that didn't have their garbage.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine.
I know.
anybody else? Can I get a motion to call public comment?
So,
Second.
I got a motion by Kelsey, second by Bob. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I-
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Let's move down to the consent agenda, items A through C. If there's no action taken on the consent agenda, can I get a motion, please?
Motion that we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that. I got a motion by Mitch, second by Terry. Any discussion? I'll call the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
All right.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Let's move down to business 5A. We have approval of refunds due for 2018 taxes. Mr. Chad?
Just second round of taxes that are due from our January payments, so.
I motion to approve the refunds that are due for 2018 taxes.
I'll second that. I got a motion by Kelsey, second by Terry. Any further discussion? I'll call a motion. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Let's move down to 5B, approval of temporary Class B retailer's license for French Island Lions Club for February 23rd, 2019 at the community center. Mr. Chad?
Sorry, Chad. I approve the approval of a temporary Class B retailer license for French Island Lions Club for February 23rd, 2019.
I'll second.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll second that. I got a motion by Kelsey, second by Terry. Any further discussion? I'll call a motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Move down to 5C, Resolution 2019-1, support of Star of the Sea Development Project. It's got my name on it, I guess, but there was a meeting last Monday, and I was a little bit late for it, but it's to help, we're gonna pass this resolution for Dan to move forward with his building. And Mitch, you were there pretty much for the whole meeting when
Yeah, I was there for the whole meeting, and we can certainly give a resolution of support, but there's a lot of work that has to be done yet as far as, meeting, and Dan knows that, he was there as well. All the criteria that's going to be laid down, because it's not going to be a simple thing to do, but hopefully we can get it done.
Is this just for the building or is it for the green spot too?
That is to fill in the area by Quick Trip. That in turn would bring Dan in compliance with almost all requirements except the height requirement, so he would need a variance for that. And then that would give us the ability then to turn that hole into a park space.
So this resolution is to support filling in the whole hole.
No.
That's not how I read it, so that's why I'm curious.
Well, that would be part of it. I mean, that would have to be done before Dan could proceed anyway.
So is there, and I'm just still a little bit of a gap on why there needs to be a resolution to move forward.
It's a resolution of support.
So the last time Dan went to the County Board of Adjustment, it was brought to his attention from the County Board of Adjustment that showing support from the town would go a long way in granting of a variance. So if the town feels what the resolution is saying is showing the support for the project and the development, it might give a little bit of weight to variance request again from Dan.
Various requests at the county?
Yes.
Yeah. And so the first one being height?
Well, he's got a couple different
You got a whole bunch
things.
of
Yeah, he's got some setbacks.
high water, and then height.
So any one of those denied would stall the project?
Basically, yeah.
I mean, if we can't get the hole filled in,
Right.
the project's over. Essentially.
No, I'm just where I hesitate on this is trying to set precedent. I always want to be careful that for future decisions, where if we're supporting something that we don't have the detail on, or that there's that other contingency, I just tend to not want to do that. Is all.
Well, we could maybe, if we can't do it by resolution, we could do it by letter, certainly.
Can I jump in?
Of
quick?
support.
Who was invited to this meeting?
The whole list is there.
So, Right, I see who attended, but who was invited.
Everybody that attended was invited.
I was there, but
I don't think there was anybody absent that was invited. That was invited. So it's roughly
So there
15
wasn't an
to,
email to all board members about this.
15 to
And I
20
missed it?
people.
Well, two things. It was at 2:00 in the afternoon, so you worked.
I have PTO.
Well, we don't want to create a quorum, so we needed two board members at most. Terry fit the bill, and Mitch, who doesn't, is
I was
usually off
available,
at the end of the day.
I only have 2 months left, but I hope going forward, I mean, obviously I only have 2 months left, but I would hope the decision for me to not be there would be up to me, even if it's during the day, so. My work knows about this. So.
Nothing personal. It just,
Not saying
that's
it's
who
personal, I'm
was,
just telling you I would wish to make that.
to not make a quorum at this meeting.
I just understand, I'm just trying to tell you, you can stop snickering about it.
I'm not snickering.
Ralph, do you have any questions about it?
No, it sounds like we're still trying to specify what this resolution will be. And before we move forward with it, is that the way I'm hearing it?
Well, it's written out. I don't know if you don't have a copy of it. It's kind of hard, but I mean, it's got the statements. I mean, it's already put together in formal resolution. So,
And so at this point, we're just going to be voting as to whether we want to move forward with this resolution?
yeah, so it's got the underlying facts or the statements, and then it's got the resolution itself. I guess I could read that to you. I don't know if you don't have it, but therefore be it resolved by the town board of the town of Campbell, LaCrosse County, Wisconsin, that consistent with its comprehensive plan to be primarily suburban in character, accommodating low-density residential, commercial, and industrial development, to continually improve the quality of life and safety of the people in the town of Campbell, it hereby supports this project. So that had a couple of whereas, comprehensive plan, and surrounding areas kind of statements. So,
Okay. Yeah, I probably don't have any other questions then.
Got anything you want to add, Mitch?
Nope.
No? Bob?
no, I mean,
Somebody want to make a motion then to,
I'll make a motion that we file a resolution of support for Star of the Seas project to develop 129 Clinton Street, provided all the necessary permits and regulations are met.
I'll second that. Any further discussion? Well, I'll start over. Motion by Mitch, second by Terry. Any further discussion? I'll call the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
All right.
Opposed, say no.
no.
Motion carries. We'll move down to 5D, alternate for La Crosse County Plan Committee. Plan Committee for the county meets every 2 months on Wednesdays at 4:30. Sometimes it becomes difficult for me to, and Tara Johnson called for the last one and I couldn't make it. She wanted to know who my alternate was, and I said, well, I don't believe I have one. So I thought I'd put this on the agenda, see if somebody would like to volunteer.
The guy that's not here.
I could probably do it in an alternate capacity.
Okay.
You can just call me
Yeah.
and let me know ahead of time.
Right. Can I get a motion for that then, please?
I motion to approve Mitch as the alternate for the La Crosse County Planning.
Second.
Motion by Kelsey, second by Bob. Any further discussion? I'll call the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Move down to 5E, appointment of Planning and Zoning Commission member. Well, I got a letter from Kelsey saying that she's stepping down, so it's more or less just for discussion, I guess. We can
We don't have any applications on file right now, do we, for anybody that's interested, or?
Not that probably shouldn't be re-put out there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
it's been a long
It's
time
been a
since
long time
we've.
since we advertised for it, so, okay.
I'll put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's how we got Jason last time. Was Facebook.
We need a motion, I can just move on.
So,
Well, here, I'll motion to put it on Facebook.
Okay, I'll second that. Have a motion by Kelsey, second by Terry. Any further discussion? I'll call the motion. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Let's move down to 5F.
So this-
Review and possible updates to employee policy and procedure manual. Mitch?
Yeah, this is still the sick leave issue, and I would be willing to propose that we, provide a certain level of sick leave, but no buyouts at retirement or anything like that. Just sick leave pay in case an employee's sick or injured away from work.
No buyout at all then, at the end?
No, not to begin with. I mean, be looking at maybe 60 days of sick leave.
is it just like block awarded or accrued or how do you?
You accrue at 8 hours a month. So.
So do it have the same language as the other employees then?
No,
No?
it would have language that they have 60 days of sick leave accrued at 8 hours per month, and there's no payouts or anything at retirement. So
Is there a carryover for the next month?
they could carry over 60 days tops.
Is 60 days the cap? You're only going to get 60, or you're going to keep carrying over 60?
We can keep carrying over 60, but I mean 60 is the cap. I mean you can't go
I got
beyond
it.
60.
Yep, that's what I meant. You can't carry,
Because
so it's not annualized or whatever.
Right.
Your short-term and long-term disability would kick in.
It takes 3 days for short term to cook in.
It kicks in, but that only pays at 60%. Plus, you have to pay taxes on that, so it only really gives you about 40% of your income. And needless to say, for a lot of people, that'd be very difficult to get by on for any period of time, as
Okay.
we found out with Joel. So
All right. For the current language, I think they get 13 a year if they never use one of them 12 days.
we would just be, for the general employees, we would just be affording them 60 days. And the wording isn't put together yet. This is still in the discussion phase because initially, I felt like there was too much opposition to go with what the police department has. So this is a alternative plan, and we can put it in writing. But I wanted to get everybody's feelings on it. And,
You've definitely taken on a different role. So the 60 days would be after, that being the cap.
it would take you 60 months to accrue, so it'd take you 5 years to
Oh,
accrue
that's
the
what I
full
was-
60 days. And then if you used any, that's going to extend it even longer. And obviously, if you were injured and missed 20 days of work, it's going to take you 20 months to make those 20 days back.
So to the long-term and short-term disability part, if you have sick, if you have some qualifying event, that also qualifies for short-term disability. Did they collect both? How does that work?
Yeah, that's right.
And sick is paid out, or the sick will be paid out at regular full salary, though, right?
Right. But if you're sick for 2 days, obviously
Yeah.
the short-term disability doesn't kick in. So right now, employees would be forced to use their vacation time, to cover any sicknesses they have.
So that would be one area where I know we kind of talked about it before, is maybe adjusting the vacation, because the original or the earlier effort was just made it general leave, personal time off.
PTO.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
I hear music. Am I
That's
crazy?
the TV.
Oh. Sorry.
Yeah. I like Mitch's idea now.
I'm not crazy.
You know, the buyout is, say, an employee left after
Yep.
30 years, you're looking at paying them $20,000.
Mhm.
You'd almost have to budget that in the.
yeah, you're strapping some future board with having to make that payment.
Correct.
Budget.
Yeah.
So, I guess, and so that being said, if we got to adjust it, I mean, I'm open to going through that, but I know originally we adjusted the time off because it was all built in.
Mhm.
So maybe take a look at that, if you change that, if you're getting a sick now that was already incorporated into the PTO. So, you know, maybe adjust that back. I don't remember what the accrual rate was.
I think there was some personal business days and some other stuff wrapped in there. wasn't it, Chad? I don't remember the agreement because obviously that took place before I was on the
I
board.
don't remember the detail of it either. It was, yeah, a couple swipes at it. But I know that was part of it, was just take that whole block, make it part of personal time off and use it sick or vacation, whatever you want. I just feel that if we're gonna go ahead and put the sick back in there, maybe at least take a look at the vacation time, or the PTO that has that built in, trim that back, put
Okay.
it back in.
Well, then, we'll hold it over next month and we'll put some language together, Chad, to bring to the next meeting and so everybody can then make an informed decision on it. But I wanted to get more input, since I kind of changed the proposal I initially had, so.
Chad, you were saying going to PTO would make it a little more difficult on your end versus the way it is done now? No? I guess.
Not necessarily more difficult. You can do more rollovers. If you give blocks of PTO, you almost, for anybody to want to accumulate any sick time off or things like that, you almost force them to go 1 or 2 years without ever taking a vacation. And that, I'm not a big fan as an employee of that. You know, if you have a separate bank that's separate from the rest of it, that you can accumulate. I don't think the question has really come up so much about a payoff at the end of 30 years or if you retire. I think the whole key to it is that if you have something that happens, you're able to use some time that doesn't restrict you from taking time off of work to go have a vacation.
Right, if a person breaks their arm and has to miss 12 weeks of work, they burn all their vacation time to get paid.
Correct. So, I mean, there obviously some wording that we can do that maybe, you know, I don't know, instead of during the first year, instead of a week's vacation, everybody gets 3 weeks of vacation without any sick time or personal time, and it's all lumped together. But you almost have to make it fair. You know, you have to give some considerable PTO time if you're gonna look at doing something like that. I think.
Because a new employee basically starts with about 8 days off.
Correct. Yeah, be hard for them to accumulate any time without and not taking any time off throughout their first couple of years of work.
So let's carry it over. We'll get something right up.
Yep, we'll get something written up and ready for the next
Okay.
meeting.
Sure.
Okay.
So let's move down to 5G then. Placement of seasonal pass options at boat launch sites. Got a letter from DNR, the state of Wisconsin, says our boat launch fees, we have to be able to offer them a seasonal pass too, instead of like a one-time. They have to be able to have the option. I spoke with Chad. Chad called the city to see if they got the letter. They got the letter too. And that's what they're going to do is, I guess, when their envelope is, you can write a check or put your credit card number on there to pay for a season pass too.
Terry's the new park and rec supervisor.
Yeah.
So was Chad.
Yeah.
How many envelopes do we still have printed? Like
I don't know, probably
a million.
3,000 or 4,000.
Yeah.
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 You have just as much information as I got.
Well, I guess.
That's what it's
I had
here
asked
for.
Chad about it, and the day I got it, when we were in, what, like 3 weeks ago, and he had said he reached out to Cross already, so I wasn't gonna call Cross and make them repeat what they already told him. And so I was just waiting to hear from Chad what was actually happening, and he hadn't told me yet, but now the Cross is gonna do envelopes? Is that what you're saying?
Now, the gentleman from the cross said they're not gonna do anything at this point. They're-
Right, and I thought when we were talking, that was what we were deciding, we were gonna wait and see what the Cross was gonna do. Isn't that what you thought was best, to keep it consistent?
Well, it's up to you guys what you wanna do. I just know lacrosse is not putting a high priority on this right now.
Well, I mean, we order them. You have a place you order them from? Can we just stick them out there?
Yeah, Drew's actually been ordering them, but
Okay, well, I motion that we order the new envelopes, because clearly we have to do it, and there's no point in waiting.
I don't think there is either, because it is a violation of the administrative code to not do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the penalty for that necessarily is,
Well, I don't think
but
we
I
wanna find
suppose
out.
it could be a fine for the town. So, yeah, I don't have a problem putting the seasonal or annual
Yeah.
printing on the envelope, so.
I spoke with this Bobby Weinbar to see if there was a time limit that it had to be done. She just wants to see some action taken on it. There's really no time that it has to be done by.
So we could run out our old envelopes.
Well, here's
Technically.
here's the
but-
thing, is what's probably gonna, I mean, you're not gonna get a enforcement letter likely, it'll take a few times, but if you have a citizen that gets to a point and they files something, I guess, and that's not the intent, I mean, I guess my question on the cost of the printing change, did you have that in there? I didn't see it. But.
no, I don't have a cost on that.
So, I mean, if that's all it is, I think it's a great idea. Just add print in there, or print up.
Yeah, just change it from annual to, or from daily to
Daily.
annual. Yeah,
And really,
essentially is what you do, yeah.
give them the choice. They put it in there rather than putting in kiosks and doing all that other.
No, and those, the kiosks are only half funded by grant if you
Right.
get them, so we would still have to pay the other half,
Don't even
which is
waste-
$14,000 for them.
Holding
And then they're likely to get broken into.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it is. They're in secluded areas and they got money in them and it's gonna happen, so. I think just with the envelopes would be fine.
Well, I guess what the purpose of this was for you guys to discuss it. If somebody wants to take on, which should be Kelsey, how to develop the, wording and whatever else
Well,
that
the
needs
wording's
to go
right
on
here,
there.
let's just swap it out. Place
Yeah,
Town
just
of
change
Campbell
Brown
Parks
County
and
to
Rec
Town of Campbell.
Yeah, not too difficult.
I agree, but maybe there's something that you want to add. I don't know.
Hey, I took on the ash trees thing. Mitch, you want to do his envelope thing for me?
I mean, there's other references here. State trail, mountain biking, dog park,
Yeah, we could probably
horse.
take
I mean,
that
there's,
off.
All right, I motion that Kelsey will change the envelope and give it to Chad to order new ones. Anybody want to?
I'll second that.
Motion by Kelsey, second by Mitch. Any further discussion?
No.
I'll call the motion. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Let's move down to 5H, disposal of park equipment. Kelsey?
There's new park equipment going on in that Western and Island, Western Ave and Island, the little corner one. It's paid for already, it's coming. They say somewhere around April 1st, pending the weather, obviously, because they're gonna install it, so the ground has to not be frozen. But there's a slide, a swing set, and then some bars. I think there's bars where kids can climb on or whatever. They can either be thrown, or I can try to auction them off again like I did last time, or put them on Facebook.
Put them on Facebook,
And sell them. And,
see if you get anything.
I mean, I'm always one to try to get some money for the Park and Rec Department because we don't have anything yet.
Move to authorize Kelsey to dispose of the park equipment.
I'll second that. I got a motion by Bob, second by Terry. Any further discussion?
No.
I'll call the motion. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. That concludes our business. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll second that. I got a motion by Mitch, second by Terry. Any further discussion? I'll call the motion. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Alright,
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Ralph.
thanks for your
Thank you, Rob.
patience with me.
Make it home safe.
Was he stuck, Rochester?
Arizona.
Arizona.
Was he? Oh,
Yeah, I had to fly into Chicago, which as soon as it snows, you might as well.
forget about it.
Yeah, be looking at the next day.
Yeah.
You guys staying busy? This time?
I'll double check. I could have sworn I paid this already.
Busy